My mother-in-law accidentally poured a bottle of red wine on my wedding dress minutes before the ceremony. So while she was at the reception, I drove to her house and salted the earth of her prize-winning rose garden. I, 27F, got married last weekend. It was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, but my mother-in-law, Barbara, had other plans. Barbara has hated me since the day I met her son. She thinks I am too career-focused and not homely enough for him. She wanted him to marry his high school sweetheart, who is currently in jail for fraud, but that is a different story. For the wedding, I bought my dream dress. It was a white lace mermaid gown that cost $4,000. I worked overtime for 6 months to afford it. 10 minutes before I was supposed to walk down the aisle, Barbara came into the bridal suite. She was holding a large glass of red wine. She said she wanted to bury the hatchet and make a toast. I was suspicious, but I wanted to keep the peace. As she walked toward me, she tripped over absolutely nothing. The entire glass of dark Cabernet splashed onto the front of my dress. It wasn't a few drops. It soaked the bodice and the skirt. I looked like a crime scene. I gasped. My bridesmaids screamed. Barbara put her hand over her mouth and said, "Oops, I am so clumsy." "Well, maybe it's a sign. White really isn't your color anyway." She smiled. It was a tiny split-second smirk, but I saw it. It was deliberate. I had to get married in my rehearsal dinner dress, which was a simple cream slip. I cried through the entire ceremony. Barbara sat in the front row, dry-eyed and looking smug. During the reception, while everyone was eating dinner, I told my husband I had a migraine and needed fresh air. I got in my car. I didn't go for a drive. I drove to Barbara's house, which was 20 minutes away. I have a key because I water her plants when she travels. Barbara's pride and joy is her rose garden. She has won the local garden club competition 3 years in a row. She spends more time with those bushes than she does with her grandchildren. I stopped at a 24-hour grocery store on the way. I bought 10 boxes of iodized table salt and 5 gallons of bleach. I let myself into her backyard. I poured the bleach directly onto the roots of her prize-winning Grand Flora bushes. Then, I spread the salt over the soil, tilling it in with a hand spade I found on her porch. I salted the earth so thoroughly that nothing will grow there for a decade. I drove back to the reception, slipped in the back door, and danced the rest of the night. When Barbara got home the next day and saw her dead, brown, shriveled garden, she screamed so loud the neighbors called the police. She knows it was me. She called me screaming that I am a monster and a vandal. My husband is furious with his mother for the dress, but he thinks I went too far by destroying something she loved for 30 years. He says it was evil. I told him that red wine stains are permanent, and so is salt. So, dear viewers, was I wrong?